welcome to the G3 Boardroom. We're going to be talking about Scott Brady's Hues and Cues. Scott is an evil man. So in this game, what you do is the cue or clue giver draws a card, picks one of the 4 colors that are on that card, and then that color corresponds with a color on the big board. So you look at the card, pick a color, matches the board, and you try to give clues that will make other people try to guess what that color is. So you can see how it is over there. It's centered on, what's that, I-4 there?
I-5.
I-5.
Oh, 4.
I-4.
Sorry, I can't count either.
So, the clue giver is trying to give clues that lead people to that color. And you get 2 chances. You do the one word and then a 2 word. And, the clue giver gives points for how many people are within the box. And the 2 guessers, or the remaining guessers, get points for how, if they're in the box or out of the box or whatever. And so it's very straightforward, very simple, easy to learn.
Yeah.
I'm going to agree with you on the rules are straightforward. The game is easy to learn.
Yeah.
But again, I struggle, or I feel like I struggle, being able to describe some things that are on the board. And that's where my only complaint is really my brain failing. Oh, I actually do have a legitimate complaint on this, but we'll get to it before the end. I enjoyed the game. It's kind of funny trying to describe some of the things, especially when, again, with all due respect, Jay, in Jay's first couple clues, he destroyed sky and grass and leaves, and we couldn't use them anymore. I was like, great. I got blue, can't say sky, can't do grass. When you eliminate the easy words from my vocabulary, I don't got anything left.
Right.
So I'm not but a humble caveman,
That's what is tough about the games. You can't repeat clues that are given.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the longer the game goes on, the harder it gets.
Right.
Yeah.
And you just become out of words.
Yeah.
Now, I don't think I did too badly on my descriptions of things, but I definitely struggled on to come up with some answers.
Definitely. Same here. I mean, it is clever. I think you would definitely be playing better if you had a stronger vocabulary, so I'm not sure
Maybe.
how young kids could possibly. I know it's very family friendly, I would say, but young kids might be.
I think it's starting at 8 years old.
Yeah.
Is like the
But I do get the impression that the gentleman who designed the game was probably playing with his friends, and they're like, well, what happens when people can't come up with a clue for that? And he was like, so what? You have fun struggling to come up with something, and you do. So that's not really a drawback. It's just sometimes for me it's kind of painful coming up with a description of something just because, as I describe in our playthrough, which you should go watch. Go ahead, pause here, watch that video, come back. As I say in our playthrough video, I don't think I could adequately describe either of you if you were a missing person. I really couldn't. Who's missing? Well, my buddy Bob. What does he look like?
It's Bob.
looks like Bob.
He looks like Bob. Think of Bob. There you go.
Early on, I kind of, when you said leaves and grass, I'm like, okay, find things in nature. That'd be easy. But then I kept getting purples and blues, and it's like, those don't occur in nature naturally.
Right.
The sky technically is considered blue, but even that, it was just like, we had rose for a couple of them, and we're weren't even close.
But the bad thing about rose was he said rose. Okay, it's over here. Yeah, that's how. That's where I would have gone. Somebody said rose, but I'm really over here.
Well, I was thinking antique rose, like a dusty rose. Which they didn't know that.
And some things could be very subjective too, because at one point I was trying to subvert you by giving him a clue to something I thought he would know.
I know
just between us. In his defense, it was 30 years ago.
But the thing about that was too, it was like, okay, the layers upon layers of the strategy you're concocting. It's like, okay, I'm going to think of something that only Jason knows. But then Jason will just put his piece by Jason's piece and subvert that and get the point he needed. I kept coming up with different ways to keep Jay from getting the last point, but it just doesn't work that way.
Yeah, it's.
I mean, it could come like
Oh,
when,
Jay, you
when I
actually
was
have 51.
when I was the guest, when I was giving the clues, it's easy to not give points to the person who's giving the clues because they say grass, and
Yeah.
you're like, okay, I'm gonna go on purple.
And that's exactly what I did
Yeah.
on that one turn. But
but
you're
that
so close, it didn't matter anymore.
yeah, and that only works because no one else is getting points either. So it's like, yeah, you can stop the guesser, but then when it's when it's your turn to give the clues, you can't stop them.
You could definitely overthink this game.
Yeah.
I think it should be more laid back.
I
And
wonder
just
if
have the
this-
fun with it. I mean, I had a great time playing it, but yeah, you could definitely overthink strategy.
I wonder if this game was inspired by the Facebook dress.
Oh,
Yeah, way
this
back
is
in the-
blue, this is
way
green.
back in the
Blue or
day.
gold.
Yeah. This game, I feel like with this game, you have to have even lighting.
Yeah.
Like if you have a red light above the table, but you're sitting against a window where sunlight is coming in, you're looking at the card and it's not going to match what's on there. So you're going to be giving, bad clues. It's in, even like a lot of people will say when they play like this one, L16, you find L16 on here, and it's like, is that a perfect match? I mean, from here it looks like a perfect match, but when I'm holding the card like this,
Yeah, not
it
so
might
much.
not be because
You have everything
the
else
lights are
getting in
different
there.
and the context of the other
Yeah.
other lights. I mean, it's not an intrinsic flaw in the game. It's something that you have to keep in mind when you're playing the game.
Especially since they're two different materials as well. They're going to reflect differently.
The
Yeah.
complaint I said I had and I was going to hold for later was exactly that, which is, I don't know if it's the fault of the game, but there were a couple I was looking at that when we looked at it on the board, it's like, this is not that. Now, that could have been a trick of the lighting. It could be a trick of my eyes, and it could be that it is actually incorrect. I don't know the answer to that. But, again, I don't think it much matters. It just doesn't, because the whole point is to do your best to describe I2, and if you do a good enough job, people are going to land around it.
Yeah. We didn't have
Assuming
too many,
it's not the color of a van you've been rid of for 30 years. It was not. Are you sure?
Yes, it was baby blue.
But
I
it's
can make
funny
fun
when
of
you
it.
say baby blue. It's like
that can mean
this
so many
baby
different
blue?
things.
Is this
Yeah.
baby blue? And anything in between. I think we did a pretty good job of guessing pretty close, except for the ones that I had that were just totally whacked out. And I have played this game where the clue is over here, but someone has guessed, like way over there, legitimately trying into.
I
think
can
that we did
imagine.
a pretty good
Yeah.
job, and I think that most people playing this game would be in the ballpark. And this game can play up to 10 people.
Oh my!
Oh, wow.
So with 10 people, you get even more. Oh wait, I didn't think
Yeah.
about that exact color, and then you start glomming onto other people's guesses.
Yeah, and with that many people, you literally don't have space anymore. You can get bumped out.
You have a quarter of the board filled
Yeah,
with
you can
tokens.
know exactly what that person means, but you're the ninth person down the line.
Right, like Jay's rust clue. This whole end could be
Yeah.
completely packed in, and most of the people
Yeah.
aren't scoring points.
So that's why with we messed up in our playthrough for the first half. The person who was giving, we scored the clue giver wrong.
Yeah, incorrectly.
We were
yeah,
giving
last
them
one.
1 point for everyone within the box. We corrected it halfway through, and we were equally affected, so I don't think it really affected the score or the outcome. But if you're playing with a whole bunch of people, it's possible
Big
to get.
asterisk on Jason's win then.
Yeah. I mean, if you're playing with 10 people, there's 9 squares inside
That's
the
what I was
pot.
saying.
It's
Yeah.
possible to get 9 people in there, so the clue giver would get 9 points. That's massive.
Yeah, it's huge. It's absolutely huge. And like I said, in York, like for example, well, let's check this out. So this is 9 points. Well, that's 18 plus 5 plus 4 plus 4 plus 4
No, because in
or plus
more than 3-player
or-
games,
or
it's
3.
only 1 point per thing within the corral.
Oh,
Yeah.
And no points outside.
no points outside.
Yeah.
Okay.
See, what we were,
I was gonna say because you can score like 25 points in one slam.
right, yeah. Yeah, what we were doing is wrong is we were giving only 1 point for someone inside the box.
I wonder if
So-
Bob won
No.
No.
and had his 3 in a row.
No.
I
No,
wasn't.
because
If anything, I had less points because we only discovered that
Right,
right
and it was
after I
on your turn.
scored.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I know that I had a few times where people were inside there and I only got
Yeah.
1 point.
I was gonna say you might have won earlier on, and
Yeah,
then
that's
I
what
was
I was
fighting
thinking.
you for 1 point for no reason.
I can imagine that
I'll say I'm here.
if our viewers knew what the color was and we're sitting there trying to guess what we're putting on, I can imagine them yelling at us, "It's just a school bus, you dummy! Just say school bus!" You know. After a while, I'm like, I had one over here, and I'm like, "Oh God, corn! That's such an easy one. Why didn't I think of that?"
But
Yes.
it was an interesting game. I enjoyed playing it.
It's a fun game. It's a fun party game.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, I would classify it. I guess I would classify it as a party game. Party games are sort of a different genre that people a lot of times don't take seriously as board games. But I definitely take
Yeah.
this serious as a board game because it's a party game because it's fun and light and easy, and you get a lot of people and you can socialize while you're playing. But what separates it from a party game is that there's no like judging. It's no like,
I'm judging
you
that.
had
Yeah.
the best color,
Yeah.
or the best answer, which I hate games like that. Well,
Yeah.
I struggle with games like that because
And it's so simple
don't
that
agree.
the average person who doesn't normally play board games will pick it up right
Yeah.
away.
yes,
Yeah.
So
yeah. This the only thing I'll say is this game says 30 minutes.
ours lasted a little bit longer.
It takes a long time to think about some of these
Yeah.
colors. It takes
And some people
a couple
get,
minutes.
And some people get stuck. I know I got stuck. Bob
Yeah.
got stuck. You didn't so much get stuck as you just decided on the wrong clue to
Oh,
get.
yeah. Lenten candles.
I've got it right away. It's wrong, but I've got it. And again, I always come down to, okay, who is this game for? I think you could play this with your kids and have a lot of fun. Like you
Yeah.
said, it does say 8+ on it. I think you could do better than that. With a smaller crowd, I would probably just throw out the can't use words from before. And,
Yeah, in fact,
and take it easy on people.
It might be one of the
It
variants.
might be a variant.
If you're playing with younger gamers, we recommend letting players select from any color on the board to provide cues. Prior to giving a first cue, the active player should write down the letter and number. So with what they're suggesting is that little kids could just pick anything, then write it down. But I
Yeah.
like yours better about don't, you can repeat
repeat the words.
Yeah,
clues,
you
yeah.
repeat.
But then the problem is then in this kind of area, everybody's going to say lemon.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
you might.
Yeah.
But then the only other alteration I would make is if you were playing with smaller kids, I would play for lower score.
Yeah.
Keep them focused.
Yes. Oh, yeah, for sure. Yeah, because it did take us a while.
Yeah, at one point I thought we were just playing to 25, so I'm like, oh, that's it.
Yeah.
Oh, no,
Oh,
we're going to 50.
no.
We're serious gamers
Oh,
here, right?
I thought you were joking because you just hit 25 when you said that.
Yeah, but you guys were ahead. It was
Oh, no,
when
someone
one of
else
you-
hit 25.
I think it was when you
Oh,
hit
okay.
25. I was like, was that it?
Oh, right. Yeah.
God, at that point, I was still like 12. So I was way behind.
Well, I think it's good. I think that the scoring in this is good. Like you said, I was at
Yeah.
25, but you were at 12. But by the time we finished,
We were
all-
relatively close.
was
Yeah, we
relatively
were all pretty
close.
close. So I think this game is good to play to 50. It might be tempting to only play to 25. I think once you get rolling, it gets
Yeah.
more fun and you get into a groove.
You know what's interesting about where the scores ended up too is you and I both had rounds where we had everyone in the square, where we had 8 points. Bob didn't have that, and he still finished. I bumped myself up too as a joke, but this is kind of where we ended. So Bob
Yeah.
didn't have the big score. It was consistently scoring more
good
than the
cuer.
rest of us. Barbecuer.
No,
But-
you're a good guesser.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're just consistently scoring, whereas Jay and I mean, geez, without those, we're down here and we're still playing. But but I'm just saying, you played a more consistent game for sure. But I enjoyed it. I don't think I would pick this one up on my own. I would definitely sit and play it though. But playing with a younger crowd is perfectly viable here. I think playing with a larger crowd would be very interesting. I'd like
Yeah.
to get this one out with a big group.
Yeah, I loved it. I played this at my board game lunch at work where we had, I think there might have been 5 of us playing at that time. But see, we only had an hour.
I was going to say, some people were late getting back from lunch that day, weren't they?
Yeah, well, we didn't make it to 50 in that hour. Had a blast, but this isn't a game that's going to, I just don't know where they get that 30 minutes from. Maybe we should have all been just drinking and just throwing out words. The first word that comes to our mind.
I have a timer clock or something, I guess. So, because there were a few times where I was like, sorry, this going on 5 minutes. I couldn't think of something.
Yeah. So that's Hues and Cues. I enjoyed it. I think we all enjoyed it. I know that you said that you probably wouldn't buy it, but I don't know how expensive it is. But it's not very expensive because it is just cards and cardboard and some of the pieces.
Candy corn looking pieces.
And I just like it because it looks beautiful.
It does.
I just like looking at it on the table.
And I'm sorry to cap off. I should have said this up front, by the way. But big shout out to Kylie up at Michigan Tech, who is very much into this game, and kind of had been pestering me to play at the beginning.
One of our biggest fans.
Yeah.
We were trying to pester. We were at Origins, and Brady was there, or supposedly was there. Or he might have been there, but we just couldn't corner him. I wanted to tell him how much
box lid around all Saturday long. Looking for
him. That's right.
Trying to get him to sign it.
I knew he was there. I brought the box lid. I wanted to have him sign it because I love the game. But yes, we couldn't find him. Couldn't connect.
So just carried a box lid around like a maniac.
I think he knew Jason was coming. It was just like, I gotta sign that hall at this point.
Where is he? He's over there. Oh, I'm this way. Yes.
Well, Hues and Cues. If you played this, you like this, go ahead and hit subscribe. But put a comment down on the bottom. What do you think? We would certainly love to hear from you.
Or if you've ever stalked anyone, like and subscribe.
Okay.
We cast a wide net.
We'll take any demographic for our fans.
So we'll see you next time.